welcome back to Sway TV. I'm your host JJ here on Amazon Live, and I'm so excited!
We're gonna have some fun on the street.
And we're doing Workout Wednesdays here on Amazon Live.
And she is fresh off the set of Shark Tank.
It's such an honor to be here today, so thank you.
We are going to be talking all about parenting.
You have no idea how honored I am to have Mr. Tim Storey making his world premiere right here on Sway TV Live.
Functional medicine is all this stuff. It's integrating things that improve your life.
This is our tribe of women.
I completely agree with you, Kimmy. It starts with being happy with how you look.
What is the key to a successful business?
We made history here on Amazon Live. Would you ask her out again, Michael?
I am so excited for today's Battle Shop Live.
And it's Brad Grunberg. Hi, Brad.
Here we go. Get curious. Get curious.
Rosalind just said this is better than Netflix.
Oh, Naveen says this is better than Netflix. Yes! There's a Tesla. You can actually buy a car on Amazon. That is so crazy. The perfect gift. Yes, we got our Drake's Cake break.
David is live streaming. We got it right up in the corner. I love this.
Oh, that feels so good.
Oh my God, that is the coolest thing ever.
So awesome.
Shake, shake, shake.
Shake your zoo life.
This is fun. So many giveaways here at Sway TV. Drum roll, please. Dun, dun, dun.
And one person's gonna win a PS5. Which one will it be?
Here we go. I'm so excited. I can't even stand it.
And Sam's in the chat says, Sway TV rocks. Woo!
We're still going. Yeah, we don't sleep at Sway.
One of the best comments I've ever received, ever, hands down.
2, 1.
All the time streaming live. We're sharing great products. We're doing great interviews and amazing giveaways.
Amazon, we love you, Amazon. So grateful for you guys and for Sway TV.
I've had such a great time with all of you.
Shop attainment all the time.
It is a girl's dream come true for someone like me to be able to give you dating advice and shopping all in one platform.
Amazon Live, woo!
Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway.
Welcome to Sway TV Live. I'm Michelle Mitchell, and this is Navigating Life. Thank you for joining me today on this, well, in California at least, on this cold, semi-rainy day. But it is the perfect day to share some conversation and get a little deep, talk about some joy, talk about some things that we don't want to talk about, because that always kind of leads us to our path of joy. So I am excited today because we have a special guest coming from Retreat to Joy. It does not just sound like somewhere you want to be. Well, she's going to be joining us in a little bit, and her name is Connie, and Connie is going to share with us some of what they do at Retreat to Joy, but really we're just going to have a really great conversation around joy, which is, I think we talked a little bit about creating happiness and joy and what we could do to make those things happen for us in our lives. And so we're going to share some talks, share some tools that work for me, and hopefully they will work for you too. So remember to follow us on swaytvfollow.com and join us. It looks like Laura Y started following us. Thank you, Laura, for joining in with us. I want to talk about something a little uncomfortable. Do you notice that when you move something that's uncomfortable out of the way, that you kind of like up level your peace or your happiness, but kind of the ramping up to the uncomfortable might not feel so great? Well, that's because that's exactly the process. That's kind of how it works, right? It's uncomfortable to walk through something that maybe you've been avoiding or something that you don't fully understand. So thank you, Rosalinda, for loving my hair. So this is the first blow dry I've had. This is the first salon blow dry I've had since, I don't know, before we all went on lockdown. So I was really excited to get this today and look fabulous today. Yes, Andy, producer Andy. Oh, awesome. Okay. We are live, and I'm excited to talk to you about joy. I'm excited to talk to you about the other topic I want to talk about. And I'm not really going to tell you what it is until I bring on my guest, Connie from Retreat to Joy, because I want to have a conversation with her about this and maybe about some other things. But let's go ahead and do that. I want to bring on Connie from Retreat to Joy. Guys, remember, this is streaming live, and I'm still figuring out some things. So, do I need to do anything at this point, producer Andy?
You just need to say hello.
Hello, Connie. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
I can hear you. This is so fantastic, Connie. Where are you right now?
I am in Wichita, Kansas.
Fantastic.
And I'm in my sunroom. See all the sunshine streaming in?
I do.
Can you see me, Michelle?
I do. I see all the sunshine.
Okay.
Connie, you bring sunshine.
Oh, Michelle, your hair looks great.
Thanks. I just had a blow dry.
I heard that before they switched.
I think life is coming back. You know,
I feel it with spring, and I just feel rejuvenated. Do you?
I do, and I mean, I think we're going to come back more intentional.
That is a good word. We talked about that word today. We must be on the same stream. Yes, I think intentional is going to be the theme of our comeback.
Yeah, 100%. So I see that Mona is with us. Mona, I love it when you can join because I know about your journey, and I know that you are always striving for higher consciousness and more alignment, and you soak it up like a sponge. So you are going to absolutely love what we are doing today. So Connie, before I get started on what I want to dive into with you, I want you to tell us about Retreat to Joy.
Okay, well, thanks, Michelle. Thank you for having me on today. It's so exciting to be, Wichita, LA connection. And, you may want to tell people you have been physically to Wichita, Kansas, right? Not a lot of people can say that.
I have.
I know, but Retreat to Joy, we're right here in the heart of the heartland, and we're focused on building mindful teams and communities. And we do that just by meeting people where they are. So right now it means overwhelmed, unfocused, just a mess, basically. So we come in and we do mindful workshops and teach people skills and techniques that they can use to feel empowered and ready. So that's what we're about in Wichita.
Is there anyone, if there's anyone on from Wichita, hi. Oh my gosh, I've got some followers coming on from Trinidad and Tobago. So Trinidad and Tobago, I want to introduce you to Wichita, Kansas, right here, Connie. I just lost my train of thought because I was like, Trinidad and Tobago, what's that? Oh my gosh, they're joining us. So I want to know what, I know you and I actually met at UCSD when we were doing mindfulness-based stress reduction. Mm-hmm. And we had the techniques that we were using. And are you also doing a full program in Wichita? Are you breaking it up? Are you inspired by it? How are you doing that?
Well, good. I'm glad you asked because, that is the base. That's the core of what I do. And at least 3 or 4 times a year, I do this full 8-week program. But we have found that to meet people where they are, it means to kind of adapt the program and to reduce it a little bit. And one of the things that we're doing now is just a mini burst of mindfulness called Resilience Recharge. And we do it a half an hour, three different times during the week. And people can Zoom in so they don't have to leave their house. We're still, businesses are on lockdown, not lockdown, but, they have some employees working from home, some in the building. And then just individuals can join in just for a half an hour of, it's a little bit teaching, it's experiencing, and then conversation, which has been lacking.
And I think that's what's so important is really to meet people where they are. I think it's a big ask sometimes. It's a big stretch for somebody who's kind of buried in the busyness of life to then take that leap to, 8-week program or something that extensive. And the benefit is huge. Even if you can dip into that pool of mindfulness for a little bit, it's still a huge advantage that you can take with you. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I agree totally. And I think just, simplicity. So just meeting people where they are, but just in the lightest way, the most comfortable way, and not, getting everything bogged down with any ritual or big words, just simplicity.
Yeah. I see there's Andrew's following us, and Andrew, Las Vegas is interesting, so don't downplay it. There's Trinidad, there's Las Vegas, there's Wichita. We welcome everybody. We want everybody in. So stay tuned with us. So Connie, I was thinking about what do we talk about today, right? Like there's so many places that we could go, and this platform is so wonderful. And if you guys are just joining us, please go to swaytvfollow.com and hit the follow button and join us. We are really creating something amazing here, and we're talking about the tools that help us in our journey, but we're also talking about the talk, right? We're just like having the talk and conversation that I think is important because it will start to resonate with different people in different ways. So I'm appreciative, and I'm just kind of having a moment of gratitude, not only for this platform, for Amazon's platform, for Sway TV Live, but also that I could get Connie to join us today and have some chat. So I was thinking about what we could talk about and how we could really, maybe talk about some of the things that aren't always talked about. And I guess in a way we would say like the elephant in the room, maybe.
Okay.
So I came up with one of the things that we do as people all the time, and we might not even realize that we're doing it. And that is to blame. And I think that we kind of like don't really talk about blame. We just kind of go through our life and our space, and I don't know. It's just quick and easy to blame somebody else, or it's quick and easy to blame ourselves, and then we just kind of move on to the next thing.
It's true.
Like the situation is resolved, but it isn't actually really resolved. So here's what I want to start with you and kind of ask you these questions and get some kind of feedback from you. So if you and I were if I felt like you'd done something to me and or something had happened and I blame you for it, right? It's Connie did it. Then I'm kind of letting myself off the hook because I've put it to the outside and I've said, well, it's a situation like this because I can just blame it on Connie.
Okay.
And that really steals that opportunity that I have to heal because I've just kind of given it away. I've given the power of the solution away. So now it's out of my hands, but I have no control over it. So now I have to wait because I've given it away to you. I have to wait for you to maybe change your mind, maybe bring up the subject, maybe do, it's now out of my hands. So I think that when we blame somebody outside of ourselves or a situation outside of ourselves, we are giving up our power to fix or resolve a situation. What do you think about that, Connie?
Well, we are unscripted here, so this is very spontaneous.
Yeah.
I didn't know it would be blame, so I haven't thought about blame all day long. So coming into that blame window, yes, I think any time that we release something outside of ourselves or look for something outside of ourselves, we're shortchanging ourselves. Like you said, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to heal, maybe to work on a specific issue and to grow. So it's really, you're missing out.
And then how do you think, because I think you're missing out on creating your joy when you're doing that. Because you're missing out on this opportunity to kind of clear the path for joy in that space. So when we think about, what makes us joyful and what makes us happy, I think one of the things that we have to address is what are we carrying? So what needs to be lifted? What do we need to let go of in order to allow the space for that joy to come in? What do you think about that?
I like that, Michelle. That's good. And you're right, because, a lot of times that when we're doing blame, when we're pushing something outside of ourselves, it's sticking in our heads. So we're kind of playing the head game and just swirling it around and thinking, well, will Michelle mention it to me again? What's she going to do about it? So we go with that kind of narrative, where if you drop down to your heart, and work on it, and you're taking care of it, you've got it inside you, then what is it? It's expansive. It's floating out, and you're not restricting yourself. You're growing, you're elevating. Those words that we like to hear, like spring, we're reinvigorated.
Absolutely. And I love how you said drop down to your heart. And thank you, Mia. I am inspired by you guys chiming in and following and, being on this live stream. It's important to know that I know that you guys are here and are engaging when you leave comments and when you connect. So please do that. I encourage you to do that 100%. I want to go back to dropping down into your heart. Is that something that we can practice?
Oh, absolutely. It's something that we must practice, to continue and to grow as human beings. What we've seen so much the last year, we've been aching to respond by our heart, to connect with our hearts. So I think the opening up of, spaces again, getting out in public, seeing people, it's that dropping down in our heart, settling there, and, even before you greet somebody, if you can connect with your heart, it changes the whole conversation, the whole dialogue, I think.
Can you give me one tip of how I can drop down into my heart?
Sure. And it's the simple tip that mindful Michelle.
That's okay. And I ask because, sometimes I know and I need to be reminded, and sometimes I learn something, but,
We all do. Just, I think, drop down in your heart those moments in the day when we get so overwhelmed and we feel that life is just kind of caving in on us. If we could just take a deep breath in, and with that deep breath in, connect to the present moment and connect with your heart. So it's just letting go of all that swirling energy, swirling emotions and thoughts, and bringing it down to feel what's in that present moment.
And that kind of gets us out of our head and the stories that we tell.
Oh, the stories we tell. Right?
The stories that we tell each other, ourselves, about each other. Can we do a breath right now? Can we do like a deep breath, a collective deep breath? Because when we do a collective deep breath together, we are really just kind of raising the vibration of the whole planet. It doesn't matter where you are, but if we do this all together, Would you guys in the chat, do you guys want to do a collective deep breath? Could we do that? Fantastic. I know Eden's in the studio today, and she's definitely always down for a deep breath. So let's do that. So Connie, maybe set us up like physically set us up in a space. Like if somebody was sitting, or what would that look like?
Sure. I mean, it's just sitting, maybe a little taller, a noble position. Pull your shoulders back and relax. Just feel yourself, sink into the chair, the sofa, wherever you are. And the invitation to close your eyes or keep your eyes open. This is just one breath. So turning your attention inward. Inhaling through the nose. Pausing. Exhaling completely.
Isn't it amazing how that one breath can create so much calm?
It's tremendous. And especially the collective energy that we can draw from. Imagine if everybody in your workspace said, hey, you look stressed today. Let's take a breath together. Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be amazing.
So
I mean,
that's what
we could replace the coffee station with a deep breath station. What do you think about that?
Why not?
It would be,
anything.
It would be beautiful. Everybody could come stand around for a deep breath. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. Eden, what do you think?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Going to do it. So I do have some notes on blame, because I write a lot of this stuff out because I really want to make sure that I leave everybody with some really good stuff and tools and tips and ideas. And I'm hoping to plant the seed for whatever you guys grow for yourselves. So I think, Connie, that blame, it's like there's kind of a spectrum of blame. And the two that I want to talk about today is there's sometimes there are people that blame themselves for everything. Something goes wrong and it's automatically their fault. And then there are people that blame everybody else for everything. If something goes wrong, it's never their fault. And this spectrum of blame is something like I never actually thought about for myself, and then I applied it to myself, and I wondered, where did I fall on that spectrum? And I think I kind of fall in between. I think it depends on my mood or lack of sleep or whatever, however I've set myself up as to whether or not I blame myself for everything or everybody else for everything. And I guess what I would ask, somebody's blaming me for their newfound amazing. I think that might be Eden Sassoon. I am not sure. Yes, you do take responsibility. I think that if we could just take a minute and just check in with yourself, self-awareness, that's that first step for anything, right? Just like, where are you? And there's no right or wrong in it. It's just where are you in it? So if you could just take a minute or a second or a few seconds and check in and see, where are you on that spectrum? And I'm asking our friends in the chat. Somebody just blamed me for the deep breath that they took. I guarantee you it is beneficial.
And they feel good.
And yes. So I just wondered if you could just check in with yourselves and see, where do you think you fall on that spectrum? And you don't have to share. This is your own self-awareness check for everybody out there. Do you blame yourself for everything when things go wrong, or do you blame others? And just kind of, once you know something, you can't kind of unknow it. So that might play in your head a little bit, but it also might bring awareness to when things come up for you. So it's just about being aware. I'm glad you're feeling better. And MC says they're feeling better. And I don't know, MC could be, Like, I know an MC, this could be the MC or it could be a different MC. Is this MC's first name Maggie? Possibly. I'd like to know. Tell me. So the bottom line is, when we blame other people, we feel like we're off the hook. And the truth of the matter is, we're not. Because we have to get into that space of kind of finding out why the situation is occurring versus how I'm feeling or someone is making me feel. So do you remember, Connie, do you remember the game, like Hot Potato?
Sure.
So, right, so you have a hot potato and you throw it to somebody else, and then they throw it to somebody else, and they throw it to somebody else. I kind of think of blame like a hot potato, because although you've thrown the potato somewhere else, it still exists. And sometimes that potato might actually come back to you. So it is well worth it to have a look at that potato a little bit closer and make sure it doesn't come back to you, and figure out how you're feeling about that potato. And, you know, this whole thing about blame, it creates this momentary solution that we don't want. But what I love about mindfulness and being in the present moment is it offers us an opportunity to dip into that self-reflection space. And that's really, really where solutions come from, or that's where lasting, customized solutions come from. Because when we're self-aware, this is for us. This solution is for us. So whatever my life journey is, then whatever my life journey is, it's kind of like, it would be different. A situation that you would have or that I would have would be different. And I think we are live, and producer Andy, I'm getting a lot of sound.
Yeah, we're not live.
Oh, we're not? Okay. Connie, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. But we're getting a lot of extra sounds, I think.